Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf, where today we have been asked to search for some King's Foil, which is probably not a complete shock. We have done that already once this season when we were looking for it back, way back in that village in Western Gondor in order to help a healer. And of course, we've been looking for King's Foil since way at the beginning when we were asked to look for some for Omdir. Was that back at level 1 maybe? Or is it level 1 or that level 2? Very early on, that's for sure. But is there any more about? Hello there. Is there a loaf of bread available for Lord Sirion? Yes, thank you. There we go. One loaf of bread. Good. Now I have some bread and some unfollows. Now let's go and deliver these. Perhaps this will do until that roast is done.
There's naught but ill omens these days.
Thank you, my friend. Although I'm certain it was a simple task, you can understand my hesitation to leave my father's side with him in such a health. My father still needs the aid of a healer, but I have hope that these will hasten his recovery. All right. There you go. Now I need to speak with refugees who seem to be all over the place, but I'm sure he's already spoken to these because these are the one right next to him, so he could talk to them without having to worry about leaving his father's side. It's at the other camps where I will need to speak with some. Like, how about these two? Interesting, as this one counts for White City Refuge. This one is for the 5 that we need for this quest, and I think this one is for the Epic quest. How about that? You talk to one and the other, each for the quests. Yes, hello.
What has become of our lords in the east, I wonder?
Word or not, you would be wise to seek shelter here, traveler. The steward showed great wisdom in sending us to safety. Minas Tirith's defenses are great, but even greater are the forces of the enemy who would see it torn down by stone by stone. Alright. Was the child say? Talk to refugees of Minas Tirith, alright? And here?
I am afraid to wander too far from home lately.
Now, first I was wondering steward, which steward, and then of course Denethor, because we from the White City, yes. And do you think we'll be safe here? My mother says we will, but she hasn't spoken much since we arrived here. Father stayed in Minas Tirith to guard the gates, but I wish he had come along with us. If you travel that way, you'll look after him, won't you? I'll see what I can do. Yeah. Not that it would be. Oh, actually, he counts for the. Oh, they were both for that quest. All right. Never mind. They're for the same quest, I suppose. Same family, same quest. I guess. Oh no, this is from the epic story line.
As we left Minas Tirith, I saw smoke rising from Osgiliath.
Do you plan to travel to Minas Tirith? I would advise you to rethink your course. If the city is not already besieged, it soon will be. Much of my family has been evacuated, but my sons remain behind at the request of their commander. They will defend the city and are glad for the chance, but I'm afraid for them. As we left Minas Tirith, I saw smoke rising from Osgiliath. I hope Faramir holds it still, but I don't know how long even he can last. He is the son of the steward and very brave, but I have heard that the armies arrayed against us are vast and uncaring. I have heard also that Boromir left on an errand to the north, but has not yet returned. Maybe I better not tell her about that. I will feel better for my sons if Boromir returned and stood on the front lines. May it be soon. I better not tell her what happened to Boromir. Right now, we await word that it is safe to return to the city. Tumlodden has enough supplies for its garrison, now absent, so should be able to stay as long as necessary. But I hope this is resolved quickly. Ah, okay, so there are enough supplies to feed the garrison, and since the garrison is out to war, then of course these supplies can be used for the refugees. Yes, I guess that makes some sense. Hello there, what news from the White City?
They say I am too old to fight.
They say I'm too old to fight, even if the desire to protect my home and my family burns as brightly within my bosom as it does within those of younger men. I am not afraid to die, if that death were to be in service to the steward Denethor or his brave sons. Still, I have been carted here to wait for the end with the children and the women. What justice is there in that? They say the son of the steward holds Osgiliath, but how long can he hope to stand against all the armies that pour out to the east? That city has changed hands before, but it seems to this old man that the next time it falls may be the last. When that happens, I think they will rue sending us away. The White City will have need of folk to wield swords, no matter their ages. Mark my words, and mark them well. Well, he's a bit bitter. Now, this man right here, I mean, if he's a refugee, I wonder why he is here. Well, maybe he has a specialty skill that's useful for the refugees, but not particularly useful for the war. How about this man?
This darkness is a weight on my mind.
I didn't believe I would ever think such things, but I'm glad to be so far away from my home. I have heard tales of the great army mustering in the ruins of Osgiliath, and though the steward has sent his son, I fear for us all in the coming days. Well, there is that. Oh, and 2 more rings up here. Oh, now this time there's one for the epic and one for the main line. Hello.
What has become of our lords in the east, I wonder?
Do you know what happened in Peligir? The people of Glaniath have come to Tumlodden, have told of hearing a great chorus of screams, even from so far away. What happened to the corsairs, and why do their ships still sail upon the Anduin? Lord Angbor has come, and he doesn't speak to us as openly as he once did. Well, I can't discuss that. Why do you keep such secrets from us? Does this war go so poorly? Really. Unfortunately, if rumor didn't travel at the speed of sound, then it wouldn't be any trouble telling her. But of course, since rumor travels so fast, we certainly don't want that rumor reaching the ears of the enemy.
Hello there.
I'm sorry. He has a hobbit voice. Hello there. Are you a halfling? You two, by your voice, you are also. You look like a halfling to me. Are you a hero? Yeah. The boy looks at you with wide eyes and admiring expression. You must be journeying to Minas Tirith. You're going to need you there, I'm certain of it. There's going to be a war. It may have already been started. Are you going to be in the thick of the fighting? I would be if they'd let me. Ooh, I heard that there's another halfling in the White City. Do you know him? I did not see him, but he could not have been much taller than I am, and I wager he will be allowed to fight. Why not me? I heard tell that he's a friend of Mithrandir, the Grey Pilgrim. Perhaps that is the reason? Some folk have all the good fortune and leave none for the rest of us. It's not fair. Well, at least we know that Gandalf arrived in the Grey City, apparently, with Pippin in tow. Now, I think there's one more to speak with. Hello there. What news from the White City?
There's naught but ill omens these days.
I've heard tales of many strange things in the Battle of Pelargir, but I don't know what truth there is to any of it. You traveled with Lord Sirgun and his son? What have you seen? Forgive me, traveler. I only wish to keep my hopes up. Yeah. That's the thing is. So we've got all sorts of things going on, plus people wanting to hear news, as I guess is their wont, concerning what's going on. I've heard a bit of news.
This darkness is a weight on my mind.
I share their concerns, my friend. These are uncertain times, and the fates of many may be decided by the actions of a few. It saddens me that their curiosity about the Battle of Pelargir must go unanswered for the moment, but the Rangers have bidden me to keep my silence. Let us hope that Lord Angbor and Aragorn can reach Minas Tirith in time to repel the enemy. We can only hope.
There's naught but ill omens these days.
I've never seen Tumlan so filled with people of Gondor. I suppose it shouldn't surprise me, but it is a marvel nonetheless. You have done much for my father and me, Pineleaf, and I think it's time at last for you to rejoin Lord Angbor and his host. It has been difficult to discern who truly leads the guards here, and with so many folk milling about, but perhaps you would do well to speak with whomever does. I have seen many guards patrolling the roads nearby, and I'm certain that they can guide you to their captain. So, let's see what we have. I need to speak to a guard of Tumlondon so that I can find out who's in charge of them. Yeah, some random hobbit comes up and says, "Hello, who's in charge?" Well, I suppose we can find out. Hello there, sir. Who's in charge here?
This darkness is a weight on my mind.
You should speak to the captain of the guard. You should seek out Imladir in the barracks near the entrance of Tumlondon. He leads the defenses of Tumlondon, even in the times of peace. Alright, so speak to Imladir. And he is... oh, this way! Ah, this looks like a guard captain.
I beg your pardon?
Ah, you think I will speak to anyone here? No, no. That honor was taken from me the moment the steward's sister arrived. She speaks so surely of what she does not know, and those that seek shelter here will lend their ears to any whose voices boom above the rest. If talk is what you desire, then seek her out in the great hall. As for me, I shall keep these people safe from the enemy. In other words, noblewoman comes, takes over. He just says, "Alright, fine, you do all the talking. I'll go do my duty." Ah, here she is, the sister of Denethor.
What is the meaning of this?
Greetings, Warden. Am I to presume that you travel with Lord Angbor? If he has arrived, I have much to ask him of the war. Well, I actually traveled here with the Lord of Pelagir and his son, but I will be rejoining Angbor shortly. So, you were Pelagir then? You have my attention. For the moment. All right.
What is the meaning of this?
You must forgive me if I am too direct, but I wish to learn more of the Battle of Pelagir. You have traveled here safely, and our walls remain unbreached, so I can only assume that you found victory. But I'm curious about how. The Corsairs had many men, certainly many more than we could equal, especially after the great mustering at my brother's city. How, then, did they fail? Was it the valor of my few great men? And most curious of all, why do their ships still sail on the Anduin? Lord Angbor has just arrived, so I'm told, so perhaps I shall ask him as well. Yes, unfortunately, we're on an oath on this matter. Oh, have an oath? I offer you a choice, Pineleaf. Either tell me the truth, convince Lord Ogborn to speak of the battle, or I shall have you thrown into a cell for plotting against the people of Gondor. Somehow I think that fish slapping a lady who is... I'm still tempted. Hello there, sir. We've got a little problem. It is good to see you again, Pineleaf. I trust you followed the boy on his errand? I had a suspicion you would, my friend, for you are a hobbit of honor. Yet, if what you say is true, Aragorn was wise to send me here. The lady has no such power, I assure you. You need not fear imprisonment. You see, I bear a missive on his behalf meant for the lady's ears only. The war shall not wait upon her stubbornness, so let us quell her curiosity and continue to the east. Very well, we shall do so. Aragorn has told me much of Lady Tyrannus, though she was much younger when last they knew each other. Even then, she had a keen wit about her, and when that failed, a decidedly sharp tongue. You say that she noticed the ships as they sailed, as he expected, and he will see that she learns of the fate of Pelagir before her curiosity drives these people into a misplaced fervor. The true challenge for her, I suspect, will be keeping such knowledge to herself. As it is with you and I, she too shall be bound by an oath to Aragorn, an oath to a king. We shall go to her in her hall and speak this when you are ready. Let us be done with this errand, Pineleaf, for 4,000 men shall not wait upon the meddling of a nosy folk, even if they are kin to the steward. All right.
Sent by Aragorn himself, Lord Angbor the Fearless has come to Tumladen, bearing news of the victory at Pelagir for Lady Tyrannus, as well as tidings that might assuage her fears of her brother's fate.
This darkness is a weight on my mind.
There she stands, Pineleaf. Come, let us be done with this errand. Let's be done with it. Only for my king do I do this. All right. Yes, he's already calling Aragorn a king. I'm not too sure about Denethor's sister's opinion on the matter, but I have come bearing a missive for your eyes alone, Lady Tyrannus. It should put the end to your curiosity and to the foolish threats against Pineleaf. There is no need for all this posturing, Angbor. If you wish to tell me what I wish to know, I shall not stand in your way. Come, both of you, join me by the fire. All right. I suppose we could do that. go. By the fire. And some wonder why I chose the life of a warrior and not a diplomat. It is interesting that you have gone to such far out of your way to visit Tumladen. Indeed it is, but I would not ignore the command of my captain and my king. You see, the man you once knew as Thorngil has returned to Gondor, and in the wake there is a force unlike any I've ever imagined. Thorngil? I can't be! He was a man of youth. Would not he have grown old after so many years? His age is absent in his face, but it is he, Aragorn, as he is now known. Only he could save us. I knew it! I knew victory had been won! You must tell me of it, Angbor. Aragorn had bidden me to tell you of this, that it may ease your mind and give you hope to the fate of the White City. But you must swear an oath to never speak of these truths, just as Pineleaf and I have. If Thorngil has bidden, then I shall obey. I swear upon the lives of my sons and my brother that I shall never speak of this again. I shall hold you to your word, my lady, for the fate of Gondor may rest in it. Very well. I was fighting in Linhir against the Corsairs and Southrons when a wave of dread passed over all that battled. I stood firm, unwilling to abandon the city and the enemy, but the others, they fled, all of them, my men, the Southrons, and the Corsairs. And then I saw it, the banner of a king and the vast terrifying forces that followed him. There were men, yes, but in the forms of dead walked amongst them and fought alongside their captain. When I lifted his helmet, I knew the face at once. Thorngil had returned, and I swore myself in his service at once. Onward we fought in the east until we reached Pelargir. Then the Corsairs held it entirely, and it would not have been as were it not for him. The dead swept the entire Corsair force and drove them into the great river. For that deed he freed the dead from their curse, and now sails upriver to the White City of the Corsairs' empty ships. The enemy knows not of this plan. They must not learn of it until it is too late. This is beyond my belief, and yet I hear truth in your voice. I shall not endanger my brother or Thorngil, I swear it. I trust that you will not, Taranis. I cannot delay any longer, my lady. I must return to my men before any more time is lost. Angbor, thank you. Do not ask me yet. Do not thank me yet, yes. Remain here for a time, Pineleaf. The lady shall have need of you. Of this I'm certain. Oh, wonderful.
I beg your pardon.
I know we have had disagreements, but you will honor Angbor's charge, won't you? I hope I didn't make you wish to leave so soon. I fear that the people of Lebanon and your aid could prove invaluable. Wonderful. What does she need us to do? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.